So this video is a long time in the making, to say the least. I've gotten this question numerous different times, both online and offline, and in numerous different ways. And basically it all results in basically asking the same question: how do I promote my music as an independent musician? Now for me, obviously, I'm a DJ and electronic music producer, and right now I'm 100% self-employed. Basically meaning I wake up, I make music, I make some videos, I basically do exactly what I love and exactly what I want to do, and then go to bed and repeat that. And for most musicians that I talk to, I have found that, well, yes, obviously every musician wants to be playing on that big stage in front of a giant crowd that knows all the words to their songs and everything. Most musicians that I talk to really at the end of the day just say, hey Mark, I just want to be able to wake up, do what I love, and make money doing it. And promoting music and getting music out there obviously is the way to do that, right? The more exposure you get, the more streams, the more downloads, the more money that's going to get into your pocket. So in this video, I'm going to give you 15 different ways to promote your music as an independent musician. These are techniques, tips, tricks, and so on that I've learned and discovered not only in my practice, obviously being a musician, but in other people's practices as well. These are all tried, tested, and true. And no matter what your genre is, no matter what your style is, or what your goals are, here are 15 different ways to promote your music as a 100% independent musician. Number 1, create theme-based tracks. Now, this is something I wanted to start off with because this is something for me that really kind of put me on the map in numerous different ways. And here's what I mean. Theme-based track to me, and this is something I could do a whole video about, is basically making a track about another person, place, thing, idea, even having something in a different language, so on and so forth. And what this does is it allows people to connect to your music in a very unique way, despite them maybe even liking that genre. For example, for me, I made a track, for example, about Gary Vaynerchuk or Tim Ferriss, very famous entrepreneurs. And people hit me up saying, hey Mark, I like these songs you made about them. Obviously, I tried to encapsulate their personality in musical form, and people responded very well. They said, hey Mark, we love that, you made songs about them. And even people said, like, look, I don't like EDM, I don't like electronic music at all, but I like these songs you made about them. They're good for working out, or I can see why you use this element in that song, you made it this way, so on and so forth. And so by making theme-based tracks, not only is it a good way for someone to connect to your music in a very different way. For example, I made a song about Lionel Messi, the famous soccer player, because I get said all the time, both online and offline, that I look a lot like him. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. So I made a song about him, and people really connected to my music because, like, oh my god, I love Messi. Don't really like electronic music, but I really like the song that you made about him. In addition to the marketing now on the other end, once you release that track, is even better. So for me, when I release a song about Messi, for example, I don't reach out to EDM blogs and music blogs. I reach out to football or soccer, depending what country you're from, football and soccer blogs, saying, hey, I made a song about Messi, do you mind promoting it? When I released my tracks about Gary Vaynerchuk and Tim Ferriss, the entrepreneurs, I didn't connect to music blogs, I connected with entrepreneurship blogs. I made a song about Elon Musk, for example, and a giant space blog basically reposted it, because obviously Elon Musk made SpaceX, yada, yada, yada. So by making theme-based tracks, this is a really good way to kind of branch out people who will discover you, not only musically, but connecting to your music in a different emotional path than just musical, and as a story behind it, as another idea behind it. Another thing I did is basically making tracks basically that are in different languages. So having basically a track in Spanish, or I have an Arabic track that I released, and doing basically songs in different languages allows people to connect with the music as well. I've had people who, are in the Middle East, for example, who speak Arabic, who have connected with my music because of an Arabic track that I made. And then they'd listen to my songs like, oh wow, I don't really like American style electronic music. I like more Arabic sounding melodies, but I love the song that you made. So by doing theme-based tracks, it really allows people to connect to your music. Besides just on the music form, you have an entire story behind the track. Number 2, building a story around the song creation. Now, obviously, on number 1, I kind of talked about having a theme-based track, like Lionel Messi, Elon Musk. I've done songs, for example, about the New England Patriots, for example, like basically sports teams, people, whatever. Now, on number 2, or the second tip I'm going to give you, is to make stories about making the track itself. This is something that people are obsessed with, especially hardcore musicians and hardcore music producers. They love seeing, for example, deadmau5 will do this a lot. He'll do vlogs of him showing you how he's making the songs he's making. There's so many musicians who would do how-tos, like how I made this instrument in my track, how I did the production of my track, how I came up with the lyrics for my track, so on and so forth. Building a story around the song creation, especially for your hardcore fans, allows people to really connect with your track. You know, another way you can do this, there's a DJ duo called Mash and Kutcher, and what they did was, and this went super viral, you may have seen it, they did a video called When You Collab with the Pizza Guy, and what they did is, they ordered, I think it was like Domino's, and the guy came to the door, they brought a microphone and said, hey, can you just say 3, 2, 1, drop? And the guy's like, 3, 2, 1, drop. Then they asked him to play a couple of notes on the keyboard. They recorded it and turned an entire song into them collaborating, so to speak, with the pizza guy. And it got millions upon millions of hits on YouTube, on Facebook video, basically went super viral because not only was it actually a good song, but the story behind the song creation was, if anything, way more epic and way more interesting. So even doing, like I said, not only maybe a when you collab type video or some funny thing, but even just doing an informational how-to of how you made a certain element in your track or the process or the story behind the album or that track or whatever really can give a lot of life into your music and people can connect to it more. And especially for your hardcore fans, they love hearing about kind of behind the scenes look of why you made a song the way you did. Number 3, release your music on all platforms. Now, this is something that's really surprising to me, especially when a lot of musicians hit me up and say, hey, Mark, you know, I'm really trying to get my music out there, but I'm not getting that many plays. And I'm like, okay, well, how many plays on Spotify? And they're like, well, I'm not on Spotify. Okay, well, what about YouTube? Maybe YouTube is a better platform. Like, oh, well, I'm not really on YouTube either. So what you're saying is you're not taking advantage of all these different platforms out there and services that people can listen to your music, yet you're complaining that you're not getting enough views or listens or downloads or streams or whatever. That is the issue. So I cannot suggest enough, go through music distributor. You know, for me, I love DistroKid. They did not ask me to say that. That's the one I use. I've done tons of videos about them. I have a link this below if you want to check out some videos I did about DistroKid. They release your stuff on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, so on and so forth. In addition to, kind of with all the other ones, Pandora, for me, I know I've gotten so much traffic and so much new fans from Pandora based off the way Pandora works. In addition to, like I said, YouTube is a huge untapped market. In case you didn't know, YouTube is the second biggest search engine on the internet. It's above Yahoo, above Bing, above any other search engine you think of, obviously besides Google. In addition, YouTube is actually the number 1 search engine for entertainment stuff. Whether it's a video, whether it's a song, whether it's whatever, anything in entertainment, obviously music, art, media, blah, 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 blah. So that means a lot of people now, like I said, are actually going to YouTube to listen to songs. So if you're not on YouTube, I don't know what you're doing. Being honest, like for me, I've gotten so much, I actually will say, for me, at least at the time of this video, YouTube is actually my number 1 referrer for downloads, streams, listens, everything by a long shot too. So a big thing I suggest, even if like say you don't know how to edit videos, you're not big on the YouTube game, honestly just create an account, go into like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker depending on what computer you have, get like the album picture or that single picture or whatever you use as the cover and just edit it so it's just a static picture that doesn't move or change, put the song behind it and then upload it as a video. Obviously render it out first and then upload it as a video. Even if you think that no one's gonna listen to it, you still never know. And I'm telling you, especially, you know, if you're really trying to get a lot more views and hits, having your music on every single platform goes a long way. Number 4, blogs. Now, blogs, I find blogging in general is not what it used to be, being honest. However, I think it still has its place. A big thing though I suggest for a lot of musicians out there is to go down what's called the path of least resistance. Now, I talked about this in the beginning of the video. For example, when I released that song about Messy, I didn't reach out to music blogs. I'm a drop in a bucket of every other electronic musician saying, hey, can you talk about my track? Can you feature my track? So on and so forth. But when I contact a soccer/football blog, they usually don't get a lot of music submissions, right? So it was very easy for me to get featured on all those blogs. And this goes all the way down. You know, I got featured on sport blogs when I released songs about the Boston Bruins, Boston Red Sox, Boston Celtics, and the New England Patriots. I basically did like a little album about the Boston sports teams. So all these different paths of least resistance, especially with blogging, goes a long way. I do think there is still a place, for example, to release your music or at least have it featured on big music blogs. The only thing I know that's tough about blogging, especially right now, is a lot of blogs are just starting to charge. And the worst part is they will not charge you just to listen to your song. So for example, I'm not making this up, a lot of blogs will be like, hey, you know what, donate $10 to our blog and we will promise we will listen to your song and we might feature it, we might not. Now, if you're an independent musician, you're not rolling in money. I mean, maybe eventually you will be, but that $10, if you actually want to submit to 10 blogs, you're out now $100 just for the hope or the opportunity that you might be featured, and that sucks. I think that blogging does have its place, and I don't think you should rule it out. I still think it has a lot of weight, but going down, like I said, basically non-music blogs in general is the way to go. That's why I suggest theme-based tracks here and there, or maybe even going down other paths. For example, I did a song featuring the Ableton metronome. Instead of contacting music blogs, I contacted music production blogs. And they said, hey, I'm a DJ music producer, I gave them a little story, and they said, I actually made a song featuring the Ableton metronome, do you mind featuring it? And a lot of them did, because they were like, okay, it's not like he's saying just feature our track, it was kind of like a cool idea where you use Ableton metronome and blah, blah, blah. So there are different ways you can do this, but I'm telling you, especially when it comes to blogging, don't rule it out. However, go down blogs that are non-music related that can really promote your track in a different way. Number 5, YouTube music channels. Now, this is a huge one. I've already talked about YouTube a little bit, but there are channels that are dedicated just to promoting and basically posting really, really good songs. And there's a tons of them. For example, in electronic music, you have like Proximity, you have Suicide Sheep, you have obviously the nations like Trap Nation, Dubstep Nation, and these channels have millions of subscribers, and getting a track featured on one of these is massively huge. I mean, there are channels now on YouTube that do even releases for giant artists, and your song, or big people's song, will be featured on that YouTube channel first before even iTunes or anywhere else. I mean, it's a completely different landscape now, especially in this day and age. And so getting your music onto YouTube music channels is huge. And there's 2 main reasons why I find for me. Or maybe 3, I'd say. 1 is it's free marketing. So once you send them your song, they post a video, blah, blah, blah. It's free marketing. 2, you don't have to pay them. As opposed to blogs I was saying before where they say, pay us $10 and we might feature it. What I say when I send my music to music channels is I say you're more than welcome to monetize it. Meaning I say, look, you can click monetize and make your money off the video containing my track. Because the way I look at it is, 1, who cares? I'm gonna give them my track, they're gonna monetize it, they're gonna make money off it. Even still, for me, it's like, I don't have to do anything extra. It's not like I have to build this whole thing for them and then send it off to them. In addition to, them making money off it is kind of like my payment to them, saying, hey, if you feature my track for free, I give you permission to monetize it. So in some way, shape, or form, they're making money off it, but it's not coming out of my pocket. And 3, and this is a big one that a lot of musicians forget about. Remember that SEO, or in case you don't know what that is, it's search engine optimization, is a big thing. And that basically means when someone searches something on Google, there's certain factors that determine how high a video or post or website will rank up. And there's a lot, this is a whole other thing called a video. Having a lot of hits on YouTube, or basically a lot of videos that are pertaining to your artist's name, ranks you up SEO-wise on YouTube. In case you don't know, Google owns YouTube. So SEO goes both ways from both Google to YouTube. So for me, I know the second that I really started getting the Ficero name being put on a lot of other channels where my music was being featured all around YouTube, YouTube and Google then create a whole special section on YouTube for me now. If you search Ficero on the side, or depending on what platform you're on, maybe on the phone, you'll have a section saying Ficero Artist Station, click here to play, and it will actually play you a bunch of my different songs that are featured not only on my channel, on my YouTube channel, but other channels as well. And that happened because my name started popping up on YouTube on this one channel. Here was one song they featured mine. Another channel, another song that was featured. And this is something a lot of, I think, people don't think is when they release a song or they try to send it to a music channel, they think, oh, they're gonna make some money off my video or my song. Maybe they'll get 100, 200 views, but whatever. It's not gonna make me like rich. And you're right, it won't. But getting your name out there in Google and YouTube's eyes is massively important to being recognized as an artist. And that immediately pushes a lot of your songs and basically videos about your songs to the forefront when someone searches for you or searches for basically that type of music in general. So this is something I would not ignore. Number 6, your own sites and platforms. Now this is a big one, and this probably not anything surprising to any independent musician out there. Look, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, so on and so forth. Basically non-music-ish related services and basically social networks are huge to promoting music. This is why some top musicians who post a lot of memes, a lot of funny stuff, and a lot of non-music related stuff because it keeps people interested. I mean, if you think about it, most musicians, and this can get really technical, but most musicians, like say, release maybe an album a year. I'll just use that as maybe an average. That's only 12 tracks a year. There's a lot of work, as every musician knows, to making those 12 tracks. But as somebody, especially in this day and age, that has a really short attention span, it's very easy to forget about you, especially as an independent artist. So doing things, like posting memes, doing funny videos. So that's why a lot of musicians, for example, are doing tutorials and all these videos that kind of keep them still in the limelight, and they get new subscribers and followers from those methods. There's so many different ways to build a following, and I think that a lot of musicians sometimes say, oh, what's the point? I'm just gonna post a stupid meme picture, but who cares? I really wanna work on this track. And the truth is, especially in this day and age as an independent musician, there's no better time to be an independent musician. I will say that. But I think a lot of musicians like to ignore the fact that, look, marketing doesn't exist, but the truth is it does. And it's tough to say, a lot of independent musicians say to me like, oh, Mark, trust me, the cream rises to the top. Eventually, if I make really good music, it will be discovered. No, it won't. I hate to say, you might get a lucky break, it might happen, and I'm not trying to be pessimistic, I'm trying to be realistic in the sense that in this day and age, I've seen it, so many really good musicians go unnoticed because there's so much noise out there. Anybody can now pick up a guitar, record a song in their basement, throw it on SoundCloud. Anybody can make electronic music by, downloading some software or a DAW and making it. If you're a hip hop artist, you can easily produce your own beats like that, or even buy them royalty free now, spit over them with your iPhone and use the voice recorder and do it that way and put songs online. And it's huge now. And so that's why I think doing marketing things and doing things to make yourself stand out really does go a long way. And I think that even though it sucks as a musician standpoint, saying, oh, I don't want to do this marketing stuff, I don't need a Twitter, I'll be fine, you're better off getting one than not. Without question. And yeah, maybe you have a team behind you that's doing this for you. Maybe you think that you want to go the pure route, but even still, doing music, especially now as an independent musician, you're not going through a label that's doing this for you. As an independent musician, it's half making really good music, half getting it out there. And also that's why I'm going to make this video, to show you that second half. Overall, I'm telling you, start making videos, start posting things on Instagram, do whatever you can to really get people to your services, wherever they are, whether it's a blog, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, etc., and then show them your music. Number 7, lyric sites. So obviously, if your songs have lyrics in them, submit them. There's tons of different sites online that literally say like, oh, we need lyrics for this song, this song, this song, or you can submit a new song. And this is a good way, just one, like I said, to really improve the SEO of your name and your brand as an artist. And 2, especially, if let's say someone listens to your song, this happens all the time. Let's say someone listens to your song and they're like, I don't know the artist and I don't know the name of the song, but I remember there's one line that he's saying like, oh, I walked down the stairs and I saw her over there, or something like that. They might literally type in Google the exact one of the lines of the song that they kind of remember, and if it is your song, obviously, and if they kind of remember the line somewhat accurately, that lyric site's going to pop up, and now they can finally find that song of yours they've been looking for. Don't underestimate how powerful lyrics can be, especially when people might search your song using your lyrics. Number 8, background music and videos. Now this goes for both your own videos and other people's. I've had my songs featured in a lot of different YouTube videos as background music. One, for example, is a big avenue to go down is fitness. So for example, I've had a lot of fitness YouTubers use my music in their tracks, because obviously I produce electronic music. People like listen to EDM, it's upbeat, it kind of gets you geared up when you're working out. So a lot of them will use my music in their videos and they'll have it in the background, and then I'll see, they'll feature me in the description or something like that, work out some type of deal. And that's a really good way, because like I said, it's free promotion. For them, they're getting a track that they can use and monetize off their, YouTube channel. And for me, I'm getting free promotion, and it's not like I have to remake the song or do anything. I don't do any of the editing. I just say, hey, use it. Here's the song, I'll send you it. You do all the rest, free promotion for me. Just feature me in the description or give me a shout out in the video or whatever, and that works really well. Don't underestimate having the background music, not only, and I will say, in people's videos, but your videos as well. For me, anytime I'm doing a video that is going to be vlogging or going about and I want background music, I use my own. And even in the description, even if I say to people like, oh, this is my music, and even if people know that, I still post it, because I assume not everybody who's watching my videos knows who I am. So in the description, I'll have songs featured in this video, Take Your Shot by Ficero, New England Patriots by Ficero, I don't know, whatever. I'll feature my tracks in the description and then post links so people can listen to them. And granted, sometimes, I don't even notice this, people will see, oh, it's called New England Patriots by Ficero. Oh, I like that song, and they won't even put together that I am Ficero. They're just saying, oh, it's this guy named Ficero. And I've even had people hit me up saying, hey, Mark, I actually realized that you're the one who made the song. This is pretty cool. I liked the video, and I didn't know the song in the background was actually your song. That's pretty awesome. And so the more information you can give, the better, and especially when it comes to background music, it really does go a long way. Like I said, the more you can basically show people like, hey, this is my background song, whether it's on someone else's video or your video, it does go a long way. And then we can easily discover and easily listen to your music. Number 9, podcasts. Podcasts are blowing up now, especially with Alexa and like Google Home becoming, really, the amount of sales that have gone up and got more exponential is ridiculous. Now everybody has some type of device. They can say, hey, enter your name here, play the song for me or whatever. So with podcasts, it goes really 2 different ways. One, if you're doing a really cool musical thing, I know that's a bit of an ambiguous word, you can feature on a podcast. So for example, for me, on my debut album called The Light Nearby, back in 2014, I traveled around the country for 10 months, producing 10 songs about 10 major cities in the United States. I did all this while living out of a van that I basically turned into a mini apartment. So a lot of travel and entrepreneurship, kind of a motivational podcast actually heard about my story, and I was featured on a lot of them podcasts. That was great exposure. In addition to, obviously, a podcast, usually like half an hour to an hour long. So I really could talk about my story in depth. Obviously I got interviewed a lot about how I did what I did, how I traveled, how I did all these different things. And that's a great way to basically get a lot more exposure. In addition to, having your songs maybe featured as a theme song isn't a bad way to go. A lot of podcasters want, a theme song or whatever. And my music is actually featured. For example, one podcast that was actually featured in called The Art of Adventure has actually used my song Flow as their theme song. So that's been amazing exposure. Every single time you listen to that podcast, and who knows if maybe he's going to pick a different theme song in the future, but at least for now, when you listen to that podcast, the first thing you hear in addition to his voice is my track, and that can be your track too. So hitting up a lot of podcasts, not just for your story, but to have them use your music, it's the best of both worlds, and it's amazing exposure. Number 10, social media influencers. Now, I hesitated on putting this one on this video, but I thought it would be important because, one, I'm going to say that social media influencers, I think right now it's a bit of a joke. People are like, oh, Instagram model's going to feature my track, blah, blah. You will be surprised how much pull and weight that will have. The only downside of this, and this is why I was hesitant to kind of put this on the list, is that it can get very expensive. Unless you work something out, maybe you have some sort of connection with them, it can get very, very pricey. There are Instagram models who have, let's say, 5 million followers that can literally charge thousands just to post one of your, songs. And which gets even crazier is there are literally Instagram models now who will say, you know what, give me $500 and I'll post it for 24 hours and then I delete it. So it's not even permanent, right? So it can get really tricky, but I think that if you somehow do have a connection to, let's say, an Instagram model or Instagram celebrity, as it's being called now, a YouTube celebrity, someone who's big on Twitter, or any of these social media networks, do not underestimate how powerful that can be. If there's an Instagram model that has 5 million followers, he or she has a gigantic audience that you can leverage. It can really make a gigantic impact. You might as well reach out to them. The worst that happens is they say no, but nothing is maybe you can work something out, saying, hey, if you feature my song on your next video, I will make you a custom song just for you that you can use in every video you make from here on out as an intro song. And you don't even have to feature me, right? That's a good bartering system. You make them a song, you kind of give them the rights to that song, so it's almost like you're kind of ghost producing or ghost writing. And basically the trade-off is that they will use one of your songs in their video and give you a shout out for it, right? So that you can kind of work out deals depending on the person themselves, but this is something I would not ignore. Just try to work something out as best you can. Number 11. Physical CDs and thumb drives. Now, these are one of those things that you have to do very carefully. But if I were you, and especially if, like, say, you're going to a lot of parties or events, always have your music on some type of a physical thing. Like I said, a CD or thumb drive. And the reason why is not only is it getting in the hands of someone important, like say if you meet them or you bump into them, but it's something that's tangible. It's very easy to ignore an email, but it's a lot harder to, like, say, when they go home, they take out that thumb drive out of their pocket. It's a physical hard thing that you can touch. In addition to, it gives you an excuse to talk to them. So for example, I actually did a song with Jim Jeffries, the famous comedian, and what happened is I met him in person, he gave me permission to use one of his routines, I released a track, and then I actually got a physical CD and then gave it to him. And this is a way to basically promote my music by saying, hey, check this out. You're giving to them as a physical copy, something that they can like hold and touch. I think that's a big way to go, especially when it comes to physical things in general. Having that on you, especially at all times, or when you know you might have an opportunity to meet someone, is massive. You know what I mean? Even deadmau5, for example, and obviously a lot of my references are going to be related to electronic music, just because also that's my forte, but keep in mind, this goes for any, genre. The reason, in case you don't know why Skrillex is what Skrillex is, and the reason why he's now massive is because he created a song, Gary Monsters and Nice Sprites, put it on a thumb drive, met deadmau5 at a random party, I think it was in LA, bumped into him, said, hey, I want to give you this as a demo, and deadmau5 said that the reason why I listened to it is because it wasn't some spam link, some SoundCloud link, or whatever. It was something hard and physical that you could put in his computer and then listen to. So if I were you, especially when it comes to, especially if you go into a lot of these events, which you should be, by the way, and I'll get to that a little later, always have something physical on you. And a lot of big artists say, when I've listened to a lot of different stories, say, I met this guy, I had a demo on me, and I gave it to him in person as a physical item, and he or she listened to it. Number 12, social media ads. Now this one's huge because the value of these ads are huge, and the truth is, at least at the time of this video, they're really not as expensive, meaning the ROI, or the return on your investment, is massive. Even if you're like, Mark, I don't have a lot of money, I'm an independent musician, I can't afford. $20 will go a long way. It'll go way bigger than you think on something like Facebook ads, which I suggest. And if you do it right, you might even be able to break even. So for me, I remember when I released my album that I talked about before, it's called Mass Hole EP with the Boston sports teams. I think I put in $20 on Facebook ads, and the amount of downloads I got when I did all the math out, I think broke even, or I actually got more. Meaning that me investing, I guess if you look at it that way, in that ad, I actually made money from it. You know what I mean? And I got that exposure and all that attention and all these people who are now fans or like my page or whatever. Doing these social media ads can really, really be beneficial. And I think for me, the best part about them is that, like I said a little bit earlier in this video, I wanted a lot of these tips to really not cost a lot of money. And the good thing about this is that it really doesn't. I mean, I'm telling you, even if you're like, you know what, Mark, I only have $10. That's all I have. I only have $10 to promote my music. That's all I can do. Perfect. Go to Facebook, create a Facebook ad, make sure it's targeted, do all these different targeting techniques. When I released my Master EP, a lot of the songs were house. So I said, okay, what house artists or house DJs make sounds or music similar to the album I just released? So for example, one of them I remember was TJR, who's a great DJ and producer. So here's one of the people that said, target between this age range, who like this, this, and this, and make sure that these people, at least some of them, like TJR or have liked his artist page. So now I'm targeting towards people I'm pretty sure, maybe not 100%, but pretty sure as a decent guess, that they are also gonna like my music because they like his music. Number 13, shows and performances. Now this goes both ways. What I mean is that whether you are performing or whether you're not performing, I cannot tell you how many musicians I talk to that all they do is sit inside their bedroom, they make music, and they release them, and they're not getting anywhere. You gotta get your out there. I'm sorry, there's no other way to word that. Like, you have to get off the couch, find out about events, go and network. Glitch Mob said that when they would perform at their shows, when they were done, they would literally give out CDs. They said they would literally spend hours making CDs, go to the shows, and give them out all for free. And they did that for every single show for like a year or two. They said it was exhausting, and now they're playing on main stages of the biggest electronic music festivals in the world. And they said it was because of that. That was a huge thing. So when you're doing your own shows, don't forget to market. Have, like I said, free stuff, free business cards, bring merchandise, whatever you can do. And then on the flip side, if you're going to a lot of shows and performances, you're going to be networking, you're going to be meeting people in the industry. That's what I said before, earlier in this video. Make sure you have like a thumbstick, which is a lot easier to hold on to than a CD, so that if you do bump into someone important, and inevitably you will, you'll be like, oh, wait, here's a demo, here's my track, here's my album, here's whatever, basically whatever you want to show them. I met Skrillex a couple years back in Vegas, and not only did I give him a song, I kind of wrote a little message for him on the thumb, because I knew I was pretty sure I was going to be able to meet him. So I wrote a little message on that thumbstick in terms of like a little text file I put in. I actually put in a funny video that related to a song that I made, and that's a whole other story. But I basically made it a full-fledged thing. Rather than being like, here's a demo, I had like a little personal message, I had this and this, and that way, it made it unique, and it makes you stand out more. And so really, really make sure that when you're going to shows and performances, you're networking. Number 14, Repost Swap. This one's a bit interesting. It's becoming a lot more popular as time has been going on. So it really depends, but what a lot of artists are doing now is kind of like if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type deal. So what they do is they will repost your song, for example, on SoundCloud. This is very common on SoundCloud. They'll repost it if you post the next song that they release. There's pros and cons to this. I know a lot of artists have gotten a tremendous amount of exposure from this. They will contact an artist that they really like, maybe a little bit similar, maybe not, who knows, and they say, hey, you know what? I just released a song, do you mind reposting on your SoundCloud? In addition, I repost your newest song, or if you're going to be releasing one in a week, I'll repost it when you actually do release it. Now, the good thing about this, I think, is mainly two things. One, you don't have to pay any money. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, so on and so forth. But the second thing is that it allows you to really connect with this artist. I know a lot of artists who've connected with other artists through doing this. And that way, if you think about it, they're not listening to your song. Because let's say if you contact an artist that you love, and you say, look, I'll repost your song if you post mine, they're going to listen to your track. Whether they were posted or not, well, who knows? But they're definitely going to be listening to your track. And so it's kind of like a kind of hidden way to get, one of your artists that you really like to listen to your music. And then also, if they do repost it, they're now featuring your music to a gigantic, different group of followers that will probably follow you back and really like your music back. So doing this kind of trade-off is a free way to get a ton of exposure. And last but definitely not least, number 15 is remixes and covers. If you think about it, for most people, if you do a remix, for example, let's say as an electronic DJ, let's say you remix Lady Gaga or Katy Perry or Bruno Mars or all these other really famous artists, people are way more likely to discover your remix and then listen to your originals than if you just posted originals. Same thing, let's say you're a guitarist and you do a cover of, let's say, like a Billy Joel song or a Coldplay song, you're way more likely to get a lot of views. People might go on your, let's say, YouTube channel and then be like, oh, wow, he has his own originals, or she has her own originals. Maybe I'll check those out. I think when it comes to remixes and covers, essentially what you're doing is you're kind of, in a weird sort of way, and it's a bit of a weird way to word this, you're kind of utilizing that person's name to promote your own brand and your own artist persona. When anybody listens to a remix that's really, really good, or a cover that's really, really good, 90% of people will be like, wow, this person's an incredible artist, whether it's a remix or a cover. I wonder if they have stuff of their own, possibly, and they're gonna check it out.